All right, let's talk about a huge hurdle in B-school admissions, the written ability test, or WAT. You know the one, that timed essay that's all about seeing how you think, how you argue, and how you communicate when you're really under the gun.
You see the topic, that timer starts ticking, and poof, your mind just goes completely blank. 300 words in 20 minutes, it feels like this impossible sprint. The clock's just ticking away, the pressure's building, and you've got that blank page just staring back at you. Yeah, we've all been there.
But here's the secret, okay? The WAT isn't about some kind of magic trick. It's about strategy. It's about having a repeatable blueprint that you can use for any topic they throw at you. And today, that's exactly what we're going to build together.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by tackling that blank page panic. Then, we'll build your essay's blueprint. After that, we dive into building strong arguments, writing with impact, and we'll wrap it all up with mastering the details. Sound good? Let's get started.
First things first, we need to reframe this challenge. The WAT isn't some pop quiz on current events. They don't really care if you're an expert on climate change or quick commerce. What they really want to see is if you can organize your thoughts and build a solid argument when the clock is ticking. It's about your process, not just what you know.
So what does that process actually look like? Well, it's a simple, rock-solid architecture. And this isn't about being rigid, it's about having a foundation. A foundation that lets you focus all your brain power on your arguments, instead of stressing about how to even begin.
And at its core, this foundation is super simple and totally timeless. You've got a clear introduction that hooks the reader, a body with 2 or 3 really solid arguments, and a strong conclusion that ties it all together beautifully. Let's break down each of these parts. Your introduction has one job, and one job only, to grab the reader. And that's what we call the hook. You could use a powerful quote, a surprising statistic, maybe a question that really makes them stop and think. Look, it's not just a gimmick. It shows that you can engage your audience right from that very first sentence.
Now, the body of your essay, this is the engine room, and it follows a really simple formula. First, you make your claim. That's your assertion. Then you explain why you believe it's true. That's your reasoning. And finally, you back it up with evidence, like a statistic or a real-world example. So assertion, reasoning, evidence. For instance, you could state, quick commerce is unsustainable. That's your assertion. Why? Because the high delivery costs just destroy the profit margins. That's your reasoning. And how do you prove it? A recent report showed that most of these services actually lose money on every single order. And that, right there, is your evidence. It's simple, but man, is it persuasive.
And finally, we have the conclusion. Think of this as your mic drop moment. It is not a boring summary of what you just said. Nope. This is where you weave all your points together into one powerful final thought that leaves a lasting impression.
Okay, with our blueprint in place, it's time to add some real substance. A good structure is absolutely essential, but a truly great essay, that's filled with insightful arguments that go beyond the obvious. This is how you really stand out.
You know, the key to a really strong argument is showing that you can see an issue from all sides. I mean, anyone can just state their opinion, but a future leader, they analyze a problem from every possible viewpoint to understand just how complex it is. That's what shows real critical thinking. And here's your secret weapon for finding those angles. This is your toolkit. The next time you get a topic, just run it through this mental checklist. What are the social implications? The economic drivers? What's the historical context? The legal framework? Just using 2 or 3 of these will instantly give your analysis so much more depth. All right, ready for a pro-level technique? You need to understand the difference between denotation and connotation. Denotation is just the literal dictionary definition of a word. But connotation? That's the feeling, the culture, the idea it suggests. So for example, if a topic uses the word disruptive, are they just asking about change, the denotation? Or are they hinting at all the chaos and opportunity that comes with it, the connotation? A truly great essay will address both.
So, now that we know what to say, let's really focus on how to say it. A brilliant argument can totally fall flat if the writing isn't impactful. This next part is all about making every single word count. Take a look at this quote. It's not just a statement, right? It's a thought-provoking, almost philosophical idea. Using this kind of abstract thinking, maybe in your hook or in one of your arguments, can make your essay unforgettable. It shows you have a mind that thinks a little differently.
And here's why being specific is a total game changer. It creates credibility. I mean, just look at the difference here. India has a lot of people. Okay. The other one? According to the Hindu, India's population is projected to be around 14.5 crore. See? It's specific, it's sourced, it's authoritative.
Even if you don't remember the exact number, just citing a credible source adds so much weight to your argument.
All right, we have our structure, we have our arguments, and we have our style. Now it's time for that final polish. These are the little details that can honestly make or break your performance on test day.
Okay, you really need to pay attention to this. Not all WATs are created equal. The time and the word limits can vary a lot from school to school. You have to know these details for your target schools so you can practice under the exact same conditions you're going to face. That I am Lucknow 15-minute sprint, that's no joke.
I know this sounds super basic, but trust me, it is absolutely non-negotiable. If they can't read your brilliant, insightful essay, they can't grade it. It's as simple as that. Practice writing clearly and neatly, especially when you're under pressure.
So how do you get good at all of this? It's simple. Structured practice. Just follow this daily loop. Read great essays, one factual, one abstract. Reflect on what makes them work so well. Then, write your own take on the topic. And finally, review it to find where you can improve. Consistency here is everything.
And by the way, all of the expert advice in this explainer comes directly from the comprehensive The OMI Handbook, which is just a fantastic resource if you're a B-School aspirant.
So the next time you're staring at that blank page, you're not going to feel that panic, because now you have a blueprint, you have a toolkit. The structure and the strategies are all right here for you. The only question left is, are you ready to write?